Ted Lasso. Would you say that there could be a crossover between the two?
Oh, that would be funny. And no, that's no one suggested that.
Welcome to The Scene Drift, a podcast exploring the worlds of film, television, and entertainment, and the people who bring those stories to life, drifting through stories, one scene at a time. Today we're diving into Running Point Season 2, where the Gordon family's world expands beyond the court and deeper into the chaos of ownership, ego, and power inside professional basketball. This season raises the stakes, shifting from game day victories to the personal battles behind running an entire franchise. Joining me is showrunner David Stassen. We discuss evolving the series beyond its first season, sharpening the ensemble dynamic, and finding new energy through characters like Benny, played by Ike Barinholtz, and the new challenges that Kate Hudson's Isla Gordon faces. Let's get into this.
Today you're with the Scene Drift. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And honestly, this season you upped the levels completely. First season, I feel like there was so much comedy, amazing performances, but for this one, you added incredible new characters, but also developed on what you already had. I can't forget to mention Ike and Scott in this, introducing Ike Barinholtz in this as Benny I feel like it was the missing piece of the family that we needed.
Uh,
And the chemistry between him and Scott was sensational. How much of their interactions was scripted and how much was it natural?
Probably a real 50-50 mix. Ike and I have known Scott. I've known Scott MacArthur his entire life. Ike's known Scott for probably, I mean, going on 40 years. So we have a real good dynamic. And we knew when we put it on the page that they had this grifter, low-class cousin from Vegas named Benny, and it was going to be Ike. We knew that the interplay with the family, the Gordon family, was going to be great. And Ike is, the funniest performer around, and I always love writing for him, especially on set. I love coming up with, extra jokes because he's so good at taking it and running with it. So that's a nice compliment. I hadn't thought of Benny as the last piece of the Gordon family, but it's really fun when you see him in the rehearsal dinner episode. I do really think people are going to enjoy that he comes back later for the basketball game.
Yeah, speaking of the basketball game, it felt like it was just complete chaos, putting all these comedians into one room. What was it like actually filming that scene? And did it get wild on set?
Yes, they had the best time. Everyone was friends. Scott Speedman was is friends with the whole group already. He plays, the rival family hockey head of that team, and they had a blast. It was 2 days of shooting basketball on our practice court. Our director, Erica Oyama, of that episode did an incredible job choreographing the basketball, planning out the shots, but also wrangling all these people who were just throwing shots in the air and having a blast. But then we had to get the work done, and it was a big episode, and Erica handled it really well.
Yeah, it was honestly one of my favorites.
Oh, good.
And so Kate Hudson, Isla Gordon, she's sensational again. She's magnetic in this season, and she leads the team her way. Not like Cam, not like her family. And whilst dealing with these personal challenges, how did you show her growth whilst keeping her relatable?
Yeah, well, that's a really great explanation of her character in season two. But I think she's always going to be the underdog, right? And underestimated by her brothers. Maybe less so as she grows by Ness and Sandy, but she's still a woman in a man's world. This is professional basketball. She's the one female owner. And now in season two, her older brother is back lurking around the office. So that was a great way, I think, for us to keep the conflict up and to also always remind the audience that she's going to be challenged at every turn and her position is not always secure. So, and then we just love throwing stuff at Isla that just makes her work hard. And she doesn't always have the answer. But what I like about the character is that she does maintain confidence while she's searching for the answer episode to episode. Because I think it's good to show underdog character that doesn't always have to doubt themselves.
Yeah, I'd say, one of the best underdog characters in sports TV. And many fans, they've seen other underdog characters, like in Ted Lasso. There's been quite a few comparisons.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that there could be a crossover between the two?
Oh, that would be fun. And no one suggested that. That would be fun. I you never know. I mean, the problem is they're competing streamers. So Apple and Netflix might I don't know who would win that battle. But Ted Lasso is such a flattering comparison. We always do try and make sure we're not too much in the soccer world in terms of the stories they've done. We're trying to keep things our own way, and luckily I think we fall back more. Our instincts are to think about what Jeannie Buss and Linda Rambis, who run the Lakers, what they go through as they're our producers and helped us come up with the show. So we always kind of think of them as our original inspiration.
Love that. And David, it was lovely speaking to you. And I can't wait for season 3, and congrats on the release.
Thanks a lot. Nice talking to
Thank
you.
you. Speak to you soon.